Hello everyone, my name is Michael and welcome back into my new video. So in today's video we're gonna be wiring all of the lights and stuff on my moped. So we're gonna be working on my 1987 Tomos Automatic A35 and yeah, so let's begin. Alright, so here is everything that we will need. First of all, I got 10 meters of 12 gauge stranded wire, so it can hold up 6.5 volts. Next up we have the switch, so we can turn these lights on and off. And yeah, so next up we have the connectors, male and female. We're gonna be using that to connect the lights to everything, the actual lights and some bridges that we need to connect. We're gonna be doing this instead of soldering. And last but not least, we have heat shrink tubing, so I could actually protect the contacts from moisture, water, everything. So yeah, let's begin. So first of all, we need to see if the ignition and everything works. So the way I'm gonna be doing this is I'm gonna wire up this speaker, which is DC 6 DC volts. And yeah, first thing we need to do is we need to remove this cover, which protects everything from moisture and all that. Let's just remove it. Alright, good. And now the cover should come right off. There should be 3 screws. I only have one. I already removed 2 of these. Alright, so this is the switch I use for turning on and off the engine. So we're gonna leave this off the side. I'm gonna protect the contacts of this switch as well. But yeah, first of all, I need to remove the chain, because this one is stretched and I have a new one right there. So let's install the chain. Alright, so to remove the chain, we're gonna be using a 17mm socket on the ratchet, and we're gonna unbolt it. And this is tight. Now when we unbolted this, now it is free to move. The chain is free to move, as you can see right here. And now we're gonna remove this bolt right here, which holds up the coilover. That's how it doesn't really have a correct name. Let's just call it coilover right now. Okay, this is also a 17mm, so let's remove it. We're not gonna be removing the entire coilover, just this one bolt, and then we're gonna move the coilover to the side. Good. And now the coilover should pop right off and off to the side. And now we have access to remove the chain. It's really easy to remove. You just spin the wheel and tilt the chain and remove it just like that. Okay, right now we're gonna remove this cover right here, which is held on by 3 bolts. But first we need to remove the Kickstarter lever. And right now there's an 11mm bolt that should be on here. I mean, this is pretty much the same. This is just to easily remove it. It does hold up though, and it is off. Good. And then the pin, just slide right off and remove these 2. And now we can remove the cover. So to remove the cover, there are 3 bolts, 2 right here and 1 at the bottom. And for this, we're gonna be using a flathead tip. It's a flathead, so let's remove. This is pretty easy to do. I mean, pretty easy to be undone. So right now, this is the ignition, and this is what we have to this is where the chain is actually on. So let's remove it. It's pretty easy to remove. You just take it right off, and the chain is off. So right now I really don't want to waste your time by doing all of this. It's just a reverse procedure, but yeah, once we put that chain on and everything, it actually right now it is not stretched anymore, and just it is so good to have a good chain again. This one was just like, I had nightmares with it, but I had to do it. So we'll do a test with the speaker right now. So yeah, enjoy the rest of this time lapse. This wire is really thick. Didn't know they made wires that thick at the time. Okay, there it is. Good. So in order to connect the speaker on, we just need to test it, because I have no other way to test it. I'm gonna be using this cable. We're gonna strip it like that. Oh. Alright. Let's turn it over. I think this is on. Oh. It's working. Let's get started on doing everything. Alright, so now when we know where everything's gotta go, we are gonna wire it up, or at least run the wires through the entire moped, and we're gonna connect everything, and I'm gonna show you how to connect. So let's get started. So first of all, I gotta drop the forks down, which are these right here, which coilovers are holding on. They're actually connected to the frame like that. So let's do it. Okay, this got loose pretty easily. So in order to wire it properly, there is this mount that is kind of interfering with everything. So we're gonna just unbolt the mount. There are two bolts. What? Good. Now when we move this off to the side, as you can see, there's a hole through which wires pass through. So now let's run the wire and see where it needs to be cut. Let's install the switch in a location where I think it's gonna be the best, which is right here on this mount in this hole. So let's take these two off, and it's in the on position, so let's pass it through. Put this thing back on, and let's tighten it. Alright, so right now I've done part of the stripping. I connected up the rear light. It's right there. I cramped everything down with the connectors. I cramped them down, and I connected them to the rear light and everything.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah. Yeah, I'm disgusted with myself, and I'm disgusted with the way we're told to have a certain face, a certain weight, because we aren't pixels on a screen. No, we're human, we breathe. Every single thing we see curated, it's overrated. These expectations, they keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa. And if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to think. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah.
And this is basically it for this build. I mean, it's not really finished all the way, but I did manage to wire everything. As you can see, it is tucked inside, just like that. And yeah, I'll have to do something with this wire, and yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like it, comment if you want to see something else, and yeah, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and peace out.